Buckle up, motherfuckers, because this shit's about to get real.
Here we go again.
What's up, my fellow creepers and things that go bumping tonight? Welcome back to another episode of Creature of the Night. I am your host, Toxin, your friendly neighborhood sinner. You know what to do. Slice that subscribe button, ding that little bell to let you know every time I upload so you can keep up to date with me, guys. Now, if y'all have been following me for a minute, y'all know that I'm a hardcore fan of this film. Let's just dive right into it, guys. 2024, The Crow.
How many people have you loved?
I'll never be alone.
Now, if you're such a fan of the cult classic like I am myself, I was really looking forward to seeing a new adaptation of the film franchise. I love The Crow. I've read a few of the comic books, including the one that this is based off of, Wild Justice. I will give him this one of the few compliments I'm going to give on this video. Bill Skarsgård looked really good comparison to the comic book. It looked like he leaped off the page, maybe a few more tattoos, and I feel like the Wild Justice, like their tattoos were just a little bit more meaningful instead of just the random crap that was all over Bill Skarsgård. Going into it, this film is a total reimagining, and I've seen so many reviewers say, I've even had a few comments on my TikTok video that they are tired of being told not to compare the two because it is just impossible to do. You cannot compare anything new anything that comes out new to the original because we loved it so much. And Brandon Lee brought something to this film that no other Crow I've seen do since, including this one. The city itself took place it had its own personality. The music was amazing. The playlist, everything just had its own personality, including down to the henchmen, all the way up to the main villain that is revealed, who is actually responsible in Brandon Lee's. Every one of them is memorable. T-Berg and his gang, T-Berg, Tintin, Fun Boy, Skank, all the way up to Top Dollar, even his crazy sister that he was messing around with.
I like the pretty lies.
They were just all memorable. I feel like this film, it attempted something and it failed miserably. This film, Eric, they don't even give him a last name, but it is Eric Draven.
What did he say?
That he's kind of like coming from nothing. He's kind of trailer trash. That's not offending anybody. I'm just stating what they put in the film.
Offense taken.
He's from trailer trash. He's not wanted by his mother because she's passed out from drug use or alcohol use. And then we see Shelly, who's like a prodigy on the piano, and her mother sells her to this guy who sold his soul and has been living centuries, because he loves listening to beautiful music, for a better life. So we see these people that both come from drug use. They end up using themselves, and that's how they escape their reality. And that's kind of how they meet. They meet in a rehab facility, and I don't know, right off the back, they're just unrelatable. I mean, I don't mean to question anybody or put down anybody who's been in that situation. I know it's a tough road, but these lowlives, these people who choose to escape reality in this form or whatever, it's kind of hard to root for them. There's not a lot to root for, but in the end, they end up wanting just love like the rest of us, and the rest of us are willing to do anything like them to achieve that. But I don't know, the Shelly, the way she looked, and I want to point this out, it had nothing to do with the fact that she was African American or whatever her race is. I actually was okay with that if it added to the story. And I feel like that didn't add to the story. It was just pushing an agenda, or what we later discovered after talking about it for endless hours, that the director is actually from the UK, Skarsgård being from the UK, and I believe the person who played, her name is FKA Twigs, she's from the UK as well, so he kind of kept it in that unit, but we've seen directors do that before. I feel like they just threw her in there just because I feel like her acting was bland. I feel like she fell short. She didn't deliver Shelly. It didn't make me want to like her. It didn't make me want her to live, or for her not to experience what she experienced in this film. And it goes for Skarsgård's character as well, Eric. I love Skarsgård. I think he is an underrated actor in my opinion, and I will die on that hill. Talking to you, random. I will die on that hill. But I feel like this film, he did fall short. It was just, he didn't really feel confident in this role. Maybe because he was going up against a cult classic and he knew the ridicule that was about to come forth. Because it just fell flat for me. The acting didn't feel genuine. The dialogue felt forced and it felt really basic and bland. And it just didn't captivate me at all. And actually, like, there was really no action for, like, the first, I want to say, maybe 30 to 45 minutes of this film. And I don't like to get up in any movie. Like, I feel like other reviewers are with me on this. I do all that I can to avoid going to the bathroom, getting refills. I got up twice to pee and once to refill in this film. That's how long it took to actually captivate me and suck me into the film. And when it finally did try to grasp my attention, it just fell flat as that as well. It was all over the place. I feel like there was really no storyline. They kept a gloomy gothic look for the cities as well. It was shot like in Prague in Germany, I think like in Czech and all that. But it kept it gloomy. It almost looked like a Christopher Nolan film with The Dark Knight. But it just didn't add character like the original film did. And these characters were bland and were not memorable. Even the henchmen that he has to go and take out, like, they were not memorable either. Even there was a line too, it's like, didn't I kill you in the car, the same as T-Berg. At least with T-Berg, he had a whole monologue and you saw the fear in his eye. This kind of just accepted his fate. And one thing I did not like either was, like, this film left a lot of unanswered questions. Like, okay, if this guy did sell his soul for immortality, essentially, he was sending souls to the depth, to the underworld to take his place. Who was he? If he's been living for centuries, who the hell was he? The EMT that brought back Shelley to life, and the one who was also showing Eric through purgatory what his powers were, explaining to him what he needs to do so he could come back. He was later in the IMDb, I had to go look it up, that he was actually Kronos, the Greek god of time. Why wasn't that established? I didn't know who the hell he was. How did he, I didn't understand how you could go through the physical world and the spirit world. It was, like, left unclear. And going off of it too, I did like this, one of the few things, a little thing of, like, that his immortality was based more off of the love that he had for Shelley, because, again, that's why he could come back to this physical world, was the love that he shared was so strong, and they died in such a tragic way. But once that was compromised with something that she didn't even do, like, have control over, because she was mind controlled, he started losing love, and that's where he lost his immortality. And then he trades his place, like, okay, my soul for hers, and that's when he kind of accepts his role as the Crow, and he becomes kind of a badass. And we get the opera scene where it's just like a CGI bloodfest. That was mediocre as well. Like, it was just all over the place. I didn't see anything memorable about it. At least with Brandon Lee's too. Every fight scene, every gun scene was memorable. Even the one that, RIP again, that took his life with Fun Boy. Even that was interactive and that was, like, captivating. Not just because of the history behind it, but just because the two actors in the room were so like two powerhouses and colliding. It was amazing. This one, again, CGI. Even the goddamn Crow itself was CGI. There was no interaction with that, so I feel like there was no real high stakes besides the fact when he was doing it solely off of love. Like, there was no high stakes. Once he became immortal, that was it. Like, okay, fine. It's kind of like, you're just going through it. That you just have that plot armor and you're just untouchable. Eventually that gets boring. I want the high stakes with Brandon Lee, and I argue with my friend Nightwolf on this. So Devin, if you're seeing this,
Fuck you, I'm out.
I argued with him too. Like, he said, like, well, there was no stakes in the original. Yes, there was. They ended up killing not killing the Crow, but injuring the Crow, and he had to take the top villain by himself, and he almost died doing it. This one, there was no real stake. Like, even with the villain trying to control him by injecting his blood, STDs, by the way.
Gay.
Crossing the blood with themselves, it was just it didn't get me. So I don't know, guys. It's really hard. Like, I haven't shat on a movie in so long. But random, I'm about to go into it with this. Here's my rant, guys.
Now you fucked up. You have fucked up now.
This movie should not have been attempted. And I say that it's hard with a hard heart because I love this film. I'm not gonna lie, doing the TikTok review and seeing and walking out of the theater, I was just left speechless after this film, and I've never done that in a bad way with the film. I I feel like my hero died twice. I love the cult classic. Even with the second one, I know it's really close to the original, like almost a shot for shot. Kind of the high stakes, except for a wife, it's a son. Like I know, like those two, like I love the first one even more. I grew up with them. He's gonna get tattooed on me. Creature of the Night's named after him because he said it in the film. I have a unique poster that I'm gonna frame up for it. I have his pop. This hero, man, it was so much to me, and I feel like they killed him again. If this film was going to be attempted again, it had to be done by a true fan. And I want to call out all the bullshit fucking crew members on this fucking film. You cannot tell me not one of y'all motherfuckers read this script and thought, what the fuck? I get you got to do what you got to do for your job. We got it out. But bullshit, dude. Like, none of y'all ever said, dude, what is this? This is not what The Crow is. This is nothing. It's nothing. And I'm glad my Uncle Random finally saw it because he was left speechless as well. And he finally feels the way I feel, that it's just, it crumbled around me, dude. I don't fucking know what this was, but it wasn't The Crow. And I hate that because I love Bill Skarsgård. But what do I expect from a fucking director that's only known for Snow White and the Huntsman and the...
What? What the fuck?
The director, yeah, he did, I mean, a writer that did, he did King Richard starring Will Smith. I think it won an Oscar, or at least he won an Oscar. I don't fucking know. But either way, like, they weren't really memorable. There's nothing that really stuck out in their careers that felt like, oh, dude, they could do this fucking movie. We could have got Guillermo. We could have got Zack Snyder. I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash on that one. But I feel like there's so many directors and a lot of writers that could have fucking tackled this that would have been hardcore fans, or at least given us something badass to go with. Like, not try to do a reimagining. There's so many things that you could have done with The Crow. It could have been to so many people, and you could have gone with it so far, and you fucking dropped the ball. I think it's like rated 26% on IMDb right now, and I think the audience is giving it 64%. I think that's fucking generous as shit. And I'd seen the other adaptations. I believe the original Crow where Brandon Lee's like 86. The one with Adam Perez is at 24. The Crow Salvation with, I don't know who the fuck played that guy. He's like at 16, and the one with Justin Furlong, John Connor, he's like fucking like, I think 16% or 0%. I don't remember what he's at. But I feel like with all the years that it took to write this film, the years that it's like the people who dropped off, the people that got on, dropped off again, all the fucking shit that went into this, all the heartache. Yeah, oh yeah, we gotta make it now because it's so hard. No, bullshit. That should have been a sign not to touch it. And Justin Momoa or any other characters that were in line for it, I feel like could have done a better job. And I feel like any of the directors that it had before could have been did a better job. I don't know, guys. I don't even want to do my goddamn sign off just because I'm so fucking upset talking about it again. I don't recommend this film, and I recommend anything, even if I shit on it. I don't recommend this film. Go watch the original one. Go watch the second one for me because, I like that film. I don't care if you watch the other ones. Go read the comic books. I recommend those because they are very interesting. Sad backstory. But, yeah, guys, let me know what you thought about the film. Let me know what you thought about the original film. Go watch my review on the original film. Yeah, guys, like I always say, if you're not sinning, you're not having fun. Beware the moon, guys.